Welcome to Fastsnow's Gaming slash Sports YouTube channel, where we'll be talking about sports, specifically the start of the MLS season, Major League Soccer. Well, it officially starts Friday, uh, and I'm excited. I hope all of you are just as excited as I am. And we got a lot of games to talk about. I'm pretty much going to speed it up. There's what, 12, 13 games, something like that. It's kind of crazy. Uh, but guess what? I'm going to be right. All these predictions are spot on accurate. I'm just kidding. It is the first week. There might be a little hiccups, a couple struggles, but we're going to learn from it, and then our second week predictions will get better and then better and so on. At least that's my intent. I hope you I hope you guys all learn with me, and then at the end we're going to end up seeing a champion, right? Yeah, basically. All right, let's get started where we do have Houston Dynamo versus San Jose Earthquakes. So my score prediction here is San Jose Earthquakes winning this against Houston. Houston, who finished last in the Western Conference last season, and we need to feel excited for San Jose. I might be the only one thinking this, but these guys are gonna play amazing. Although with the loss of Nick Lima, which is a huge deal, especially for San Jose, he was always one of those key players. They did obtain El Chofis. For those of you who may not know, he does come from Chivas. He has played with Matias Almeida, and I think he's gonna do amazing, just like he did in the winning season with Matias Almeida with Chivas. The biggest thing here to take away is that Wondolowski's still gonna play. Hopefully, we can hold on to him as long as we can and whatnot. The biggest thing is Matias Almeida. This could be his last season, in my opinion. San Jose might get a little frustrated, etc. Um, so he might be on the hot seat soon, depending how the season kicks off. But I think San Jose is going to win this 2-1. Let's move on to one of the amazing games this week: Seattle versus Minnesota, and I have Seattle Sounders winning this 3-2. Ah, jeez. So let's start with Minnesota. They're adding so many pieces, or they added so many pieces in the offseason, and they're adding more specifically to aid in the goal scoring, which is huge. But you have Seattle, who is still a strong, consistent, dominant team, and I don't know if you guys knew, but they ended with one of the best home records in last season. And guess what? They're playing at home. I think they're gonna take advantage of this. So I have Seattle winning this 3-2. Next game, where I do think we have a tie, Montreal versus Toronto. I have them going 1-1. So with the distraction of the CONCACAF Champions League for Toronto, they may come out a little slow. I I don't think Toronto's gonna be playing as amazing as the other CONCACAF teams, such as Columbus. Um, so I think Toronto's going to have that distraction, and with the addition of John Johnson and Mihailovic uh, for Montreal, they're going to be scary. Obviously, it's going to take a couple games, maybe half the season to kind of get used to them, but I think they're going to come out and do a perform, and I think Montreal's going to be able to keep up, get the tie at a minimum, if not even pull the dub. So I have Montreal Toronto 1-1. And that'll move us to our next game, Orlando versus Atlanta, where I do have Orlando City beating Atlanta 3-1. We all know Atlanta will play better this season, but I don't think they're going to play be dominant on the first game of the season, especially against Orlando, who does have a lot of the same pieces and improved slightly in the offseason. Orlando is just too consistent, too amazing, and they should be able to continue that progress this season. So I have Orlando winning this 3-1. And that does move us to one of the most interesting games, LAFC versus Austin. I have LAFC winning this game 2-0. Obviously, it's the old new team versus the new team. At least that's how I see it, considering LAFC is pretty new. But I do feel LAFC got even better this offseason, which might be very scary for this league. Austin, I think they're going to have the jitters, one of those pregame jitters, first game of the season. Um, they do have a lot of inexperienced players, along with a couple veterans. But what are they going to be able to do? You know, it's the first game. You can't really control how someone feels. But uh, they also may have too much happiness for their own good, considering they're going to be playing for a whole new team. They don't know. Maybe, I don't know on the fan side how much they're thinking in that aspect. But LAFC is still such a strong team. They should be able to beat Austin, if not even more than 2-0. It could be a 3-0, 4-0. I don't know. I don't know. LAFC knows how to score goals. That's all I know. But let's move on to the next game. And this is where I do have New York City beating DC United 3-0. DC United this season, along with last season, they're going to continue their struggles. It's as simple as that. I don't see DC United getting better. I don't even know if they're trying to go through a rebuild process. I'm not sure what DC United is trying to do, but that leads me to New York City. They did disappoint slightly in the offseason, losing a couple players, but they still have such a great talent among their team, among the squad. There's no way they can lose to DC United, considering DC United ha- doesn't have much, and just as much they disappointed in the offseason, in my opinion, as well. So New York City beating DC United 3-0. And we'll move on to the next game where we do have our next tie, Dallas versus Colorado 2-2. That's how I have it. This is the battle of the mid-ranks, where Colorado and Dallas finished 5th and 6th in their conference, in the Western Conference. So, two teams that have not been consistent, but they've had pretty good off seasons. So, my takeaway on this, a tie game. I'm not really sure who to lean toward, so I'm kind of settling with the tie. I hope that's okay with all of you. I hope we see a winner. It kind of helps us, understand how each team's going to be performing this season. So this will definitely be a huge hint for week 2, but I see a tie coming out of this. But let's move on to the next game. And this is where I see Kansas City winning New York Red Bulls 2-1. Kansas City has gotten even better in the offseason. They're playing amazing. They they're still good. And man, that striker Alan Pulido, I think he's gonna have a breakout season this year. It takes a lot to get used to in the MLS. That's what people have to understand. Give him that season. Give him that. I mean, to me, he performed pretty well. But let's watch him score a lot of goals this season, and you're gonna be mind blown. Let's not sleep on New York Red Bulls. That's why I'm giving them a goal. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt where they'll put up a good fight against Kansas City, but they will fall 2-1. So let's move on to the next game. And that next game is Chicago Fire versus New England, where I have New England crushing Chicago Fire 3-0. Chicago, a team that always underperforms, a team that struggles to get one goal per game. These are stats that we can't ignore. They're always underperforming. I think they've been in the bottom in the bottom of their leaderboard since like 2017. It's insane. What are they doing about it? I don't know. But they're going up against a team that improved in the offseason, and we're talking about a team that now has their head coach Bruce Arena for his second season. So he's got the hang of this. He's going to be like, "I got this. No problem. At ease, soldiers." I don't know what he's going to say. But New England will win this game 3-0. It's as simple as that. And Chicago Fire, you have a lot of work to do, and I really hope this team does not disappoint. Because I don't know how much your fans can take it. But let's move on. So the next game would be Nashville versus Cincinnati, where I do have this game tying 2-2. I expect great things from both these teams. There was a lot of off-season movement, so I'm kind of settling with the tie here. It could be 1-1, 0-0, but considering from what I've seen in the improvements and how they performed last year, I have to kind of settle with the tie. I'm not really sure who's going to get out of this with a win. So let's move on. And of course, let's move on to the best game of the week, Columbus versus Philadelphia, where I do have the reigning champions win this game 3-2. But we're talking about the two top teams that don't disappoint. I expect a high scoring game, but I do expect the champions to come out with a win. Both teams in the CONCACAF champion with those distractions, so why not? Why can't Columbus take down Philadelphia 3-2? Let's move on to the last game. Oh no, sorry, second to last game. Vancouver versus Portland, where I do have Portland Timbers winning this 2-0. You have a proven team versus the rebuilding team. Timbers should be able to win this. There shouldn't be any struggles. Vancouver shouldn't even be able to score a goal against Timbers. Timbers performing very well in CONCACAF so far against Marathon. They dominated, but Vancouver, they shouldn't. It should kind of be similar, honestly. Portland Timbers should have no issue against Vancouver Whitecaps. I have Portland winning this 2-0. And now we're moving on to the last game. Miami, Inted Miami, David Beckham's team versus LA Galaxy, where I do have LA Galaxy winning this 3-1. You have a new head coach for Miami. This may not be their season. However, I do want to disagree. I think they'll fall against LA Galaxy, but that's only because LA Galaxy has improved so much in the offseason. Plus, plus everything they already have. This team is stacked. All they have to do is win, right? So, their defense has improved, which hurt LA Galaxy. Um, Chicharito, Javier Hernandez, kind of like Alan Pulido, he really couldn't get used to it. He couldn't get used to the MLS rhythm. You just gotta move, right? I think Javier Hernandez Chicharito will perform very well. So let's not sleep on him. Miami might struggle against LA Galaxy, but that's just because I strongly believe LA Galaxy will be in the top four in their conference. Simple as that. Inter Miami will make playoffs, but I don't think they'll be top four, but they will make playoffs. So LA Galaxy should be able to win this game 3-1. But let's not sleep on Miami. Let's not think they're gonna be bad just because they're throwing a lot of pieces. They have to know what they're doing, and I do believe they do. So anyway, that sums it up. That is everything for the MLS. Week 1, baby. I'm too excited. I hope you guys are excited. Go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know if you disagree with some of my picks, and obviously with a reason. Um, but please subscribe, like, and share. I'm your host, Fastsnow, and thank you so much for listening. And I look forward to the start of the MLS season. Anyway, peace out.